Coming to you from the land of the rising sun,
And down under.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is
Distant Relatives.
Moving Out.
What is up?
What is up?
Hey.
This is
Yes.
This is us telling everyone in the world that we are moving out together. Or moving in.
Ooh, I would love that.
Ready for bed. Moving
So
into
today,
bed.
yes.
Because we are in our pajamas.
Moving in. Super cute, by the way. I got this thanks to me, Mimi, and Ken. Thank you for this super cute pajama set. I love it.
And I saw
Also,
Jerry.
Kuya Kyle and I are drinking.
Yeah, in our pajamas, in our jammies. Cheers, Jerry. And I saw
Cheers.
Jerry just, rocking her pajama outfit. I was like, I also have a pajama outfit. Let me wear my pajamas.
Your pajama is nice. What are you drinking, Kuya Kyle?
It's a beer. I'm just drinking some beer from Kirin. My favorite beer because
Ooh,
it doesn't make you fat.
love that.
Yeah, beer belly is
Does
an
it
issue.
taste like water?
No, actually
Water
it
with
doesn't.
this alcohol?
I like
Oh.
it because it tastes like actual beer, but it's not, real beer. If you know what I'm saying, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's still very close.
I get it.
It
Well,
serves the
I'm
purpose.
drinking Moscato. I love Moscato by Brown Brothers. This is my favorite brand so far. Cheers.
Is it an Australian brand?
It is actually.
Oh.
Yeah. And Moscato is super cheap too, and it's sweet, but it does make me fat.
Oh.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, alcohol makes you fat. But
yeah,
it's okay.
because of the sugar.
We need it sometimes.
You're literally drinking 0% fat.
Yeah, it says here 0, 0, 00. It's actually 00. Well, whatever. Okay, so
Double zero.
00. Let's do a recap. So in the previous episode, we talked about money. What affects our spending habits abroad. And in this episode, what are we talking about, Jerry?
We will talk about our experiences of moving in Japan and Sydney and looking for a place. So, what our conditions were, how to find a place and how to move, things like that. It's super important to know,
Yeah.
and it's super interesting.
And what I'm very excited about is the horror stories. The horror.
Yes.
The horror.
I have such an interesting story of this apartment. Like where we're staying at the moment. Like there's a history here.
Like actual
And, yeah.
horror. It's not like moving horrors. It's actual horror. Like Sadako level
No,
horrors.
Oh no. Like I would say it's a bit creepy, but not like ghost
Ooh.
creepy, but
Let's
like
check it out.
real
Okay.
creepy.
Yummy. Yummy. Okay.
Ew.
I can't wait for that. All right, so let's do our updates. How you been, Jer?
Ooh. How have I been? Well, OMG, the Pacquiao fight.
Oh, there was a Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, there's a big fight. Congratulations to Mark, the future Manny Pacquiao. He's a baby Pacquiao.
Okay.
And he's amazing. He won. He won by knockout, and he came from a very poor family, the usual background like Manny.
Yeah.
And then he is doing amazing. His knockout was so good, so congrats to Mark. And unfortunately Manny lost, but that's okay.
Because he's a busy dude.
He did his best.
Because he's also
And
making laws for the Philippines. Maybe you should just focus on one thing.
Oh my goodness. They're talking about his presidency in the Philippines during the boxing thing. It's so funny. Like, honestly, I don't know what to think anymore. I
Yeah.
might even vote for him. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? If he wants to stay in the ring, he should just stay in the ring. Because I think he would be better if he just focuses on training instead of making laws. But yeah, I guess
That's true.
you do you, Manny. You do what you want to do. And you still make us proud no matter what. Or wait.
That is true.
Wait.
What?
Not no matter what.
Are you taking that statement back?
You make us proud. When you box. I'm just kidding.
Aside from that, what else is my update? I don't really want to talk about the COVID situation since it's getting worse, so I'll stop with the boxing match.
Okay. Right. I mean, I don't want to talk about the COVID situation, here too, because yeah, it's really bad. But yeah, I got my vaccine. I got vaccinated last Monday. And I got Pfizer.
How did that go?
Well, I exhibited some symptoms afterwards, of course, like side effects to the vaccine. And I couldn't raise my arm for a good part of the week. So it was pretty horrible.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to go to work the next day. And I'm like I was asleep.
Like physically go to work?
Physically go to work, yeah. I had to go on site that day. And I was dead to the world. Coming back home, I couldn't function. The moment I got home, I took a bath and I just plopped into bed. And I was dead to the world.
When I got the vaccine the next day, I just slept it off. I was so exhausted for some reason. I'm surprised you were able to come into work the next day.
Anyway, you just do what you gotta do, I guess.
Oh yeah, Mama got vaccinated as well. I'm proud of my mama. Good job, Mama. You're the best. It's just a different feeling when your parents are getting vaccinated because at least they're safer compared to before.
That's right.
And Lola for getting vaccinated.
That's true.
And our fam. So that's amazing.
Me too.
Good job, fams.
I think my whole family also got vaccinated, so. It's just me who's not yet vaccinated fully. But yeah, almost there.
You're almost there.
You think we can go home by the end of the year at this rate? You think we can actually do an episode in the Philippines? What do you think?
Ooh, by the end of this year, I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. I'm so negative. Yeah, I want to be hopeful though. I want to go home. I want to see grandma. I miss that old girl.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. March for me, hopefully.
March?
But I'm not targeting anytime this year.
I mean, I don't want to get disappointed either. No, it's hard. Okay. So, Jer. Maybe we should start the episode.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this episode we're talking about moving out and stuff. So Kuya Kyle, tell me about you. What's your plans? What's happening?
Yeah, actually, this episode is very timely for me as well. Me and Jerry, we were talking about this episode because it is inspired by Jerry's experience of moving out of her previous home with her family, and now moving into a new place with her husband in Sydney for the first time ever. So that was the inspiration of the episode. But for me, right now, it's very timely because I'm also thinking of moving out of this apartment that I've been living in for about 3 years now. So
damn.
Yeah.
Can we do a house tour?
Now? No way. I actually just cleaned. I cleaned everything up.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
I'm just gonna bring my no. I don't want to do that. Well, anyway, so this is going to be my my 1, 2, 3, 4th move. If I move, yeah, it's gonna be my 4th move ever. So yeah, I'm gonna be super excited to do that. I have my reasons. It's because I just in this pandemic, it's gonna be easier for me to meet up with friends that way. I don't have to use the trains much, so I'm thinking of moving to a place closer to them. And this area that I live in, it's in a very suburban area on the outskirts of Tokyo. So there's not.
Wait, so when when I visited you in Japan that one time, is that where you were staying or no?
No, I was in Chiba that time. So I actually had to like go so far out of my way just to see my little cuz, you know?
Sweet.
Yeah, but
I was so lost. Like, yeah. Damn. So now where are you?
I'm in Tokyo, so I'm at the outskirts of Tokyo right now. And there's nothing here.
Okay.
There's just a river and a supermarket. 2 supermarkets. So nothing to do actually. So the only thing I can do is like walk around and stuff like that. So if I want to enjoy, I think I would enjoy more if I was in the center of the city. Like I could see more things.
How far away are you from the city? How long does it take you to get to like the CBD area?
CBD area around 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the train.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, yeah. But still, if you think about it, you're riding public transportation. And in the time of COVID, it's better not to, especially with the Delta thing going around. And yeah, it really depends on the person. But for me, I'd rather not use public transportation as much as possible. So with that being said, like if I move closer to where my friends are, if I go to my friends right now, it would take me an hour or so. So it will just, I would cut that to like 2 minutes, 5 minutes by train. And I think that would be better than an hour by train. Less exposure, I would say. I'm excited for that.
Well, for me, I think like our fam who are listening, they weren't able to be with me on that journey.
Yeah.
Because that's when we took our long break. But when I think
break.
about it, it's a super big deal.
Yeah.
Like thinking about it now, like that was a huge milestone that we just did. Yeah. So
being able to afford it.
The
right?
reason why, So the reason why I wanted to move out was obviously we were staying with family. Once again, the family is beautiful. They're the nicest people ever. They were super supportive and helped us in everything. But the fact that we never had the independence of a married couple, and we've never lived alone, just us two as a married couple for our whole entire marriage, which was almost 2 years at that time. So for me, that's like a super big deal. So I just wanted to like fly and break my spread my wings.
Spread your wings, break your wings, break and spread it out.
break my wings and fall and
oh my gosh.
Spread. So that's the reason why I wanted to move. I just needed that independence. I just wanted to break free, like from the financial burden and all of those things.
So how is it now? Okay, so you made the move.
I made the move.
So how did you find okay, first, what were your conditions when you moved to your place right now? Because people would think about, of course, like the big conditions are like price, location, how the place looks and stuff like that. What were some of the conditions that you thought of when you move into the place?
Just so you guys know, the move was triggered by a mental breakdown that I had.
Oh, really?
I had a full-on breakdown and I was crying and I was like, I need to get out. I need to move out or else I'm gonna go insane. That kind of thing. Like I was so desperate for independence. I just needed it. So after that day, that breakout day when I was crying, in 2 weeks we were able to find a place.
In that short of a
so
time
literally
span.
Yes, I went wild. So the conditions that I was looking for were only 2 things.
Okay.
The price, because here in Australia you pay weekly. Oh, that's a thing.
That's different. Oh my gosh, weekly?
Oh yeah, you pay weekly. So in the Philippines we pay monthly.
Right. Here in Japan,
right?
monthly too.
Yeah, that's what I remember in the Philippines. We paid monthly. But here in Australia, it's a weekly thing. So the amount that I was looking for weekly was $350. And that's super cheap. Lol. Cause that's the only amount we could afford at that time.
A week,
And the second
350 a
condition,
week.
yeah, a week. Yeah. Rent in Sydney is very expensive.
What's the average
and 350 isn't. So the average rent obviously depends on the suburb, it depends on the area, but I was looking for something in the CBD
Okay.
so that I could just walk to
Right.
work. So the average in the CBD area was around 500
A week?
a week.
That's 2,000 a month? Damn. The average in my
It's really
area.
expensive.
The average in my area, I would say it's around 500 to 600 USDs. A month.
A month.
A month
I thought
in my area. But if you go to CBD,
yeah, but I thought like yeah. Would it be the same?
no, it'd still be cheaper. I would say. I think like you can get a place in the CBD for 1,000 USDs, 1,000 to 1,500 a month. I could get a place there for
Ooh,
$700 a month.
I was assuming Japan had very expensive rent.
I think they would say that because of the space. You wouldn't get the same amount of space as people would for the same price.
Mm.
But because our spaces are small, you know, if you calculate it that way, it will be more expensive. But then the monthly cost isn't actually that big. You just sacrifice the space. I think that's what it is. I don't know, honestly. What?
Oh yeah, like a studio kind of situation
Yeah.
for that price.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm talking about like 1 bedroom, sometimes 2
Right,
bedrooms
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, looking in that sense,
Yeah.
then Japan's more expensive. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
But you got something that was
Yeah.
cheaper than normal, right? So it was below.
insanely cheap.
There must be
Like
a reason for
every single person. Yes, there was a reason. So
that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get to that later.
I will tell you guys everything. It's really important to look into things. But I was desperate, so I jumped at the 350.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I would say, like for me, I only found out afterwards as well that there are reasons why some places are cheap. When I was looking for a place, my personal conditions were first, of course, were the price and the location. Those were the two things I was looking at. Price, I wanted something that is affordable for me with the current salary that I have. And the place, I wanted it to be somewhere
Yeah.
close to the airport, but still close to work. So by saying close to the airport, it's just one train away. So I am an hour away from Narita and an hour away from Haneda. So, and it's just one train ride that I don't have to
Ooh.
transfer. So that way I can go abroad easier. So that was one of my biggest conditions. But now because of COVID, I'm ready to throw that out of the window. Those are just my two
Yeah.
conditions. But then people advised me to also look at the danger maps because tsunamis happen here, like earthquakes happen here a lot. So looking at the fault maps and stuff like that, I had to
Oh
check.
my goodness.
And the apartments that I was looking at before were actually very prone to tsunami and and flooding.
That's so scary.
Yeah. And for those places, of course, it would be cheaper. But I didn't know of those dangers back then. And then there's this map thing called the Jikobuken. There's an online map for checking the Jikobuken.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the apartments with histories of things.
Ooh.
And that's why they're cheaper. So if you see something that is cheap, you should check the Jikobuken map and see whether or not there's something that happened there or not.
Oh.
But I didn't check that
Like-
beforehand.
Like what kind? Like what kind of history are we talking about?
So usually it's like accidents. So if there was a fire or something, if there was flooding in that area, or to the more extreme ones, like people getting murdered, people committing suicides, and stuff like that inside the apartment. So real level Sadako shiz.
Yeah.
Could be happening.
Wait,
to
so does the agent say
they are not
the
obligated
history
to say,
or
unless you ask.
Ooh. Oh, unless you ask. So you can ask.
I never did.
Because what if you're not?
Yeah. What if I'm not?
So how about what if you weren't aware of the danger areas or the danger zones that are tsunami prone and earthquake prone? Will the agent not say that? They'll be like, oh, by the way.
Of course, it would depend.
Be careful every July.
It would depend on the agent, because some agents would tell you, oh, these places are cheaper because of these reasons, but not a lot of agents would tell you that. And the agent I went to particularly didn't actually explain those things. Of course, these are things that you'd want to, redact so that you can make a good sale. Especially if someone is looking for a place immediately. You just want to get a good sale, right? Especially the places that don't actually get sold very quickly, right? So it really depends on the place. But I'm sure some places would give information like that.
Yeah, it really depends on the agent, hey.
So you didn't get tips for yourself when you were looking for places. You were just like at it. You wanted to go and look.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gut feel.
I just went wild. All I wanted was a good location for the price.
Okay.
And my price was cat. Oh, sorry. Like, literally, if everyone I told about the price, they were shocked. 'Cause, guys, my area right now, I am in the heart of Darling Harbor. Like when you go out.
Like when you go out, it's the ocean. That's why it's cheap.
No, literally.
You're on a boat.
Just like a 5-minute walk from everywhere. So it's such a beautiful location.
Okay. So, Darling Harbor is the name of the place. So it's not actually a harbor, right? An arbor.
No.
Okay, because if you think about it, you'd be like on top of the dock, and then you're on a boat or something. I don't know. That's what I thought.
No.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about Australia. Okay, so I have a question though. How did you find it?
So there's just tons of renting websites online. Super easy. They're all listed there. It's like domain.com, rent.com.au, those kinds of things. You just go on all of them and you just type the location, the suburb that you want to be in and the price. Right. And then it shows you like multiple selections. And then I just click every single one and applied for every single one. And then until I got one.
You applied for it. Okay, so it wasn't like a dubious site or like a friend recommendation.
No. It's a legit site. Okay. It's a legit site. And then you apply for inspections and then they'll give you an inspection time. And I don't know about you, but some of the inspections here are open inspections. So they give a time like 1 p.m. and literally anyone can go in
and just look
and then check the place out. That's what I did. I went to multiple ones. I've been to like 4 before we found this place. Right. And then you'll see the other people that you're competing with. Because if there's like multiple applications, the agent will choose like who's the best one for the property, blah, blah, blah.
So did you have competition over there?
No.
Okay. So dubious though your place now. It makes it so much more dubious.
We were the first ones and Mike and I were like, why are we the first ones? This is such a good deal. Yeah. So we told the agent like, we can pay for it now, give us the papers.
Oh,
And
wow.
then he was like, oh, okay. And then we just went for it. Lol.
Oh, really? I see. Well, for me,
Yeah.
here, there are no open inspections like that. You'd have to make a
Oh,
reservation with the real estate agent. And yeah, they wouldn't really. That's a good thing in Australia. I guess you can see the competition, how many people are looking at it at the time. But here, it's just information that the real estate agent will tell you. And they could, make things up, I would say. Like, oh, this place is actually very popular or whatever. You just have to trust them. But yeah, the place I got, they told it was very popular. That's like, I was like, oh man, I have to like hurry up in my decision to get this place. But yeah, so it's nothing like that. But I hear there are a lot of horror stories. I did my research on Australia, and there are horror stories on
Oh.
like using Craigslist and stuff like that to find places.
Oh.
So I was
well,
like, so,
I've never.
so you didn't experience anything like that when you were looking for.
I will not go on Craigslist to find a place. No.
Okay.
I went on the legitimate renting sites, and even going through the legitimate one, it's still sus.
It's still sus.
Suspicious. Sus. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Is it hard for foreigners to get places in Australia?
Based on my experience, since I was able to find a place in 2 weeks of looking,
That's true.
I would say no. But there are some really amazing properties online with great price, and it's like brand new, and it's like government funded kind of situation. And then they limit the applicants, and they have to be either Australian residents or PR only. So even if you're a foreigner like me who has a full-time job, but I'm not PR, I won't be able to apply even though I can technically afford it.
Yeah.
So that's the only unfair thing I've noticed.
Okay.
But it depends on the property, but majority of the property allows anyone to apply. How about in Japan?
Okay, so there is a thing here in Japan where foreigners are always having a hard time getting an apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a conversation. That's why a lot of people would just use like share houses, especially if you're a short-term resident, because it's really hard to get an apartment here. And I don't know if it's racist. I think there's like, it's a blurry line between racist and not racist for this, because they have reasons. And I did my research, and I think the biggest reason why foreigners are not able to get a place here in Japan is because Japanese owners don't trust the foreigners. It's, I think, a history of late payment that I think could happen. Japanese people, value punctuality and stuff like that. So they don't really like late payments. And second is the language barrier. Especially if you're talking with the owners, if something happens from the owner's side or from the foreigner's side, it's gonna be hard to communicate without Japanese, basically. So it's
I get it.
They would want to avoid
But
that.
what if you're a foreigner who can speak like full, like proper Japanese?
The thing is, people generalize. So if you're a foreigner, they'd be like, oh, I'm sure they're not able to speak Japanese because, or they're gonna have a difficult time speaking Japanese. So they just want to avoid that completely.
Yeah.
So that's why they wouldn't want foreigners. And there's a third reason. Foreigners are very short term here in Japan, and there is history of leaving without a trace. And that's one. They would just leave without, notifying, giving proper notice, or they would because of the short term.
I see.
Of course, the owners would want someone who could stay for a long term, so that they won't have to pay the real estate agency again to look for other people and stuff like that. So it's more of a better, just planning for the future kind of situation.
Wait, so what's the application process for a property? Like, do you guys fill out a form? And in the form, do they ask like, do you understand Japanese? Like, what's your level of proficiency if you're a foreigner?
I think it's just a real estate agent who would tell the owner that this is the situation. He's a foreigner, but he can speak Japanese. Something like that. But still, it's not, sometimes it's still not enough for people to, be accepted. And there's a fourth reason. It's the customs. Like, foreigners have different customs of using houses. I don't know in Australia if it's okay, but here in Japan, you're not allowed to drill on the walls.
Here you have to ask. Okay. You have to ask the landlord or the owner of the place if you're allowed to. Because if you drill and you leave, you might get fined. You'll have to pay for it because they're gonna cover it in the future or whatever.
Yeah, here, I mean, they generally just don't allow it, but I'm sure some places, if you ask, maybe they would, but I don't know. But yeah, those are some different customs. In America, I would hear they're free to do whatever they want with the apartment. They can paint, they can drill holes, stuff like. Maybe it depends as well, but yeah, here it's not like that. And here, foreigners have a tendency to be noisier in Japanese standards, I would say. Like for me, I would love to listen to music. I would love to sing and stuff like that. But they're not the type of people who do that because they would care about what their neighbors think.
Oh, I remember you talking about this in a previous episode way back when.
Yeah. I remember when back in one of the places that I lived at, it was concrete walls already. But I guess, the sound still resonated across the whole apartment. And I was playing music so loud. And I was just like, just jamming in my room, just partying it out. And then they come knocking at my door and like, you're noisy and stuff like that. One time, me and my friend, I was at my friend's house.
Oh my goodness.
And we were having a party. And they called the police on us. Because we were so loud.
What kind of party?
We were just like, it was a birthday party. So we were just talking. It's not like loud music or anything. We were just having fun. We were just laughing, that kind of stuff. It was in the middle of the day. So I thought it was going to be okay. We all thought it was going to be okay. Because it wasn't disturbing anyone's sleep or anything. Still, they called the police on us.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we were like, oh.
And then what happened?
The police just came and they said like, some people in the apartment complex complained about the noise, so maybe you can just keep it down a notch and stuff like that. Yeah. Some people are aggressive like that, but some places are more passive aggressive. So from one of my other friends' story, I wasn't there, but what my friend experienced was that someone complained to the landowner. And then the landowner just sent like notices to all the posts inside to everyone in the house that says there's a problem with noise with one of the people in the apartment. So everyone should just like keep it down. So we don't really know who it's from. We don't really know who it's addressed to. But yeah, there's something. Yeah, things like that. And usually like because of the noise issue with foreigners. Yeah, they wouldn't want to do that. They wouldn't want to accept, so.
Ooh.
I wouldn't say it's racist. Because of course, like...
It's just difference in
culture. And it's of course the owner's prerogative. But I think it could be racist if they're pinpointing it to just a certain race. Like, we don't accept, like, Filipinos or something like that. If they do that, then that could...
Because they sing karaoke in the house.
Because I play the guitar in my room. But here I asked, is it okay if I could make noise? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. That's what they told me. So that was okay.
Oh, wild. I don't think I can do that.
Oh, really? Like make noise over there? Can you make noise?
I can make noise. Like Australians are very casual. Like they don't care.
Okay.
Like you can honestly do whatever you want.
Ooh.
Oliver howls at night like a mad cat.
Oh really? I didn't think cats would be noisy. But
because he got stressed.
Oh, okay.
He had a stressful period.
I like.
Sleeping wasn't enough for him.
Can you hear your neighbors? Do you have neighbors?
So here's the thing, in our building. So my unit is super unique. So our building is a hotel slash tenancy building.
Okay.
Our walls are super thick. Like, I cannot hear anyone. Even if you play the loudest volume, if you go outside, you won't be able to hear it.
Right. Okay. Then I guess it's fine with the noise issue. So I guess it's more lenient there for
Yeah,
finding,
100%.
especially for foreigners and stuff like that.
I
see.
would say so, yeah.
Personally, I didn't have much trouble with finding apartments here. I was lucky because I had
Okay.
Japanese friends who could help me out and serve as guarantors for me.
Oh.
If you have a guarantor, like chances of you getting a place is higher because at least they would like buffer the whole late payment issue, the language barrier issue and stuff like that. So
I get it.
yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I didn't have much problem. So I never actually had a hard time finding a house. I never got rejected because I was a foreigner. Some places would,
Okay.
I have some friends who were rejected because they were foreigners, but I've never experienced that myself. So I guess it really depends. Maybe because I could speak Japanese too. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it was okay.
So do you consider yourself like lucky with all of your moving experiences? Do you have any
Well, no horror story.
horror stories?
Well, I
or-
mean, like the first house that I
Okay.
moved at, they were just really thin walls. I made some noise, but no one really cared because they were also making noise because they had kids. So I just had to like tolerate the
yeah.
kids' noise, and they just had to tolerate my music and stuff like that, or my movies. But no problems. I never got complaints except for that one place when I just made big noise. That was actually in my dorm in my college. So
Ooh.
that is when I got like the complaint at the door. But yeah, aside from that, no personal horror stories. So I'm pretty curious though. Like before we go to that horror story of yours, I want to know, because this is like where people usually have other types of horror stories in Australia. In my research, there are a lot of horror stories connected with moving companies.
I never used one.
Oh, how did you move?
So we have a beautiful cousin-in-law. His name is Polly. He's amazing. He helped us move. He brought his own van.
Thank you, Polly.
He carried everything, and since it was our first time moving, we barely had any stuff.
Okay.
Just clothes and like a couch and all that. And the couch was given to us by the family, so they gave us stuff. So when we bought a bed, when we bought a fridge and all of that, we had it delivered here, which was easier. So I heard though moving companies are insanely expensive.
Yeah. Even here in Japan.
Yeah, a friend of mine said they paid them like $3,000 just for a move, and then they had like hidden charges where when they wrap your items with like saran wrap to protect the items, that'd be like $150 extra. And they don't say it, like they just be like, oh, do you need it wrapped? We'll wrap it, and then they'll do it, and then in the end it just added up to the bill. So that's what my friend said, and I am terrified, and I don't want to think about hiring a mover person.
Right. Personally, I've not used a mover myself because of it's super
Ever. In all of your so that's why you brought the fridge through the drain.
You know how cheap I am. Like when I moved, the first time I moved from Tokyo to Chiba, my friend from the izakaya that I worked at, he rented a car for me so that we could like move my stuff. But I wasn't able to move all of my stuff when we moved it on the day of the move because I still needed to use my bed and other stuff. So I needed to like leave some of my stuff at the apartment. And one of that was like my mattress, my futon, my bed sheets and everything. So I had to like move my mattress, my futon, in the train again. So like back in
You are insane.
back in the day,
How do you do that?
I brought like my fridge and everything, but this time I brought like my mattress. Gladly it could fold up.
Like an actual big mattress.
Yeah, it's a big mattress, but it could fold,
the
but it was still
folded
like
one.
pretty
Okay.
big. On the train, it was like an hour and a half like train ride. I had to transfer, so I was lugging it around with some of my stuff. And from the train
Oh my
in Chiba
gosh.
to the place to my dormitory, it was a 20-minute walk. I was like so cheap. I couldn't like afford using like public transportation back then. So I was just like, okay, I'll just like bring it by walk. I could explore the place. Man, never doing that again.
You are insane, and this is coming from a person who's buying designer items and bags.
Back in the day, I
But
couldn't afford transportation or like transferring stuff. But now I have I can drive here in Japan, so I can do it for myself. And rent out a truck and I can just like move it myself.
I don't think I could ever do that. Like carry a fridge and bring it to the train. Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't have options back in the day, I'm sure you would have like either lugged it around, used the taxi, or I don't know. I just happened to like use the train.
Yeah.
I've
Now
never.
you can move
I
comfortably.
can now,
and
hopefully. But yeah, okay. I'm glad you never used a moving company for yourself.
Thanks, Dax. I appreciate you. And Polly for doing so much. So, and Mike. I don't think I did anything else.
You were just like over
But yeah.
there, like filing your nails and like just like you put it over
Filing
there.
your nails.
Sipping wine and like,
Thanks,
thanks guys. Let me just like brush my hair and I don't know.
No, but I was the one who found the items on like Facebook Marketplace.
All right.
So I was able to get like the dining chair. I like the rug, the ottoman, and all that. So I'm the
Okay.
mastermind behind the move.
Mike's eyeing you right now, I'm sure. I don't know. Okay, so now, how's your place? How has it been so far?
So we have been here for 7 months, and I hate it to the very core of its being.
Wait, the place? Or
The
the experience?
place.
Why? Oh my gosh, what's
The
wrong?
place. So guys, there is a reason why things are cheap. So in a place where it's supposed to be like $500 per week, you have to ask like, why is it $350? So one day
I have
it
a
was
guess. Can I guess?
very what?
Can I guess?
What? Yeah.
What's wrong there?
What?
Someone was murdered.
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my-
Wait, let me
okay.
get to the thing first. Okay. So first, we were like, it is insanely cold. It's freezing. And we tried turning on the heater and the heater won't work.
Wait.
And the like controllers are super weird.
Okay.
And it's like broken off and ugly. And I told the agent like, why can't we control the thing? It's freaking broken.
Yeah.
Can the heater actually work? And he was like, oh yeah, all you need to do is get a spoon or a key and like put it in there and like turn it
What?
to like turn it on. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, do you want me to come over and show you how? And I'm like, yes, please. That would be great. And he never came.
What?
He never came. So
Did
we
you call again? No?
No.
You should call again, but okay.
Anyway, so in the hallway, there's like a super high up cupboard. Like
Okay.
it's something that Mike can't reach, and Mike is 6'1". So it's really high.
Okay. How tall is your
And then
place?
I was it has high ceilings, so
Okay.
that's one of the good things about this place. So Mike and I tried to just like open the bit just to see what's inside.
How did you do
'Cause
it?
I was scared.
Did you like go on top of him? Oh, okay. I was
No,
like-
he just got
okay.
he got a chair. And then we saw things were inside. And they were not our things. It was somebody else's things. And then I was like, OMG, what if somebody is living up there? And we don't know.
A cupboard? Wait, like there's a cupboard and there's like another room?
It's a huge upper room. It's like a cupboard, but literally it's so huge, like a person can live in there.
Inside your room or outside your room?
It's in the hallway.
Of your room?
Above. It's above. It's above like a 2-door cupboard. And it's
And no one explained what it was when you went in.
no, we just assumed it's for extra storage. And then we checked, and then there were things in there.
What do you mean
Like
things?
actual, like one looked like a body wrapped in a bag. Like it was huge.
Like a sleeping bag. Like a sleeping bag with a person inside like that. Like a coroner bag when there's a cadaver in it. Something like that.
Something like that. Like, guys, it was so creepy. It was so scary, and there were so many things inside. And that weird bag was at the very end. So Mike and I literally thought like I thought like somebody was in there. There's something creepy in there. Like, something happened in there. Blah blah blah.
Did you
So
crawl
after a
inside?
while,
You crawled inside and checked.
Mike did. Mike did. He pulled everything from in there. And there were like bags, huge bags. Like actual items, like a person packed for them, and then it was just left there. So it's just like extra creepy. Like, why would you leave your items there?
So you go, okay, question. You go in there. Is there another way to access the room? Or is it just through that door?
It's just through that.
Oh my gosh, it's like Parasite. You know, someone actually living there and you just don't know. Oh my god, it's so creepy.
I'm so scared because sometimes, like, what if the food in your fridge, you see something missing, and then you're like, OMG, somebody's eating our food.
It's probably that person in that cupboard there.
I know, it's super creepy.
So have you lost any items? Any lost socks? Anything like that?
No. So we opened the bags, and then there inside was an iPad, was a cell phone, and we were like, what is this?
Ooh,
Like, there are actual gadgets in here.
some weird syndicate
then-
story. Oof.
Mike found a journal, and he was so interested in the journal. He read the journal, and then in the journal, the guy was a drug addict.
Creepers! Oh my god, okay.
So he was a recovering drug addict. Like, he was trying to get better.
Okay.
And he said that in the journal. And then so Mike was reading it. He was so interested. He was like, oh, his name is blah blah. And then blah 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 things
So what's his story?
happened,
Oh.
and he.
What's his story?
I
I'm so curious.
What is the story? We didn't read the whole thing. We just
should read the
like
whole thing.
bits and pieces of. So anyway, we told the agent that there are stuff here that isn't ours,
Yeah.
and the agent was like, "Okay, I'll get them." And then he got the item. He got everything. Without any explanation or whatever.
He
just
didn't bother
took
to
all of it.
ask?
No.
I would have asked. You should have asked, Jer. Oh my gosh, it's so freaky.
I know. And then it's just weird that they would leave like all of their things.
Yeah. Sorry, technical difficulties. Something went wrong, so now we're back at it. Okay.
It's a demonic occurrence.
Oh my gosh. it was the druggie. I hope he's alive. I hope he's alive and recovering in real life. And he didn't haunt
I think
the
he's
podcast
doing
right
fine.
now. Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Yeah, I think he's doing fine. I hope
Okay.
he is. Anyway, so apparently the agent finally sent someone out to check the air conditioning because it was insanely cold.
Okay.
Like Mike and I were shivering inside. It turns out that the whole aircon is just like broken and messed up, and it would take like $7,000 just to fix the centralized air conditioning system of the whole place.
And you have to pay it you have to pay for it yourself?
No, the landlord will have to pay for it, but he doesn't want to.
Oh my gosh.
So now we're stuck here. But my dearest mama, who loves us the most, bought us a heater, a portable heater, because she saw us suffering every day.
Oh my
Like,
god.
We had to triple layer just to be comfortable in our own place. So mama bought us a heater. Thanks, mama. Love you.
Oh man, that is so interesting. I saw this like YouTuber who found this door behind her mirror
Ooh,
in the
I
apartment that
hate
she has
it.
in Manhattan because they felt like a cold breeze coming out of it. So I thought it was
Ew,
gonna be
ew,
that
ew.
kind of a story. And then I actually wasn't able to finish. It was on TikTok, not YouTube. Okay, so it was on TikTok. And then
Ooh.
so because you were saying that you were feeling very cold and stuff like that, and I remember this TikToker feeling a breeze coming out of the out of the mirror in the bathroom. They go in and they find
I've seen this TikTok.
right an apartment on the other side, and I'm like,
That is insanely creepy. Like literally, what's that movie, Bob? That's such a good movie. The one that we just watched.
she doesn't remember.
The guy that lives in the thing. I'm gonna recommend you guys a movie. Wait till the end. Mike will give me
This is gonna
the
look
source.
it up. What's the
It's a
story?
really good movie. It's like that. It's beautiful. It's scary. I love it.
And so is it like murder type? Like that guy is like
Yes.
Ooh.
Like they got the house for cheap. Blah blah blah. It's really good.
It's really good.
It's on Netflix.
I don't in a
Is it
real
on
life
Netflix?
setting. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna be
on
good.
It's not good. No, but it's so common. That's why it's so freaking scary. It's happening so much.
Over
Like
there.
it's actual. Well, not here in the States. So it's an actual thing. So there was this other story. This guy had an apartment. He notices the food in the fridge keeps on getting missing or disappearing. And then he installed a camera. And then one time when they all left, a lady
Oh my god!
just like freaking crawled out of nowhere and just ate their food.
crawling.
And then as soon as
literally crawling.
no, she crawled out from somewhere.
That would be like creepy.
She was like She crawled out from somewhere.
Sadako
And then
be
when she
hungry.
heard noise,
She hasn't had lunch for the longest time.
yeah.
Ooh.
And then she just went back somewhere else and she just disappeared in the cracks. And then she uses the shower.
Oh my gosh.
She eats the food and everything. So it's a thing, guys. That's the scariest thing, I think.
I think this. I don't know. I'm kind of scared right now because I'm alone. These stories creep me to the bone. But like, I think the creepiest thing that happened to me in this apartment was like I would hear sounds on the ceiling. It's like walking, like sounds, like tapping sounds, and I was like at first like maybe it's just a rat. I don't know. It's just like tapping and tapping and tapping, like someone just like tapping. So I'm like, is that
A rat?
And it would like stop. It would go on. It would stop. It would go on. It would stop.
What if they're tap dancing?
No,
Rude.
it's like it's not like the rhythmic dance, like not like that. It's just like
It's just like,
yeah. Can you hear this?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm like, what is that? So I called like the land people, and they said
Land
like,
persons.
and they come in to check, and they were like, oh, because of the pressure from inside and from the outside, there's like moisture like depositing from the something on the ceiling, and it's just like dripping down. So I
Really?
suggest like you open up your windows and stuff like that. I was like, but my windows are open. I don't even use the AC. Cheapo. Because
Yeah.
I was cheapo that
Look
time.
at you saving the money.
Yeah. I was like, I don't believe you, but there's a leak. It's apparently just water leaking down. So I was like, oh, okay. As long as it doesn't leak down into my room. But it kind of gets annoying sometimes. I would wake up at night because of it. But recently it hasn't, been leaking. So I guess maybe Sadako is finished with her shower. She moved somewhere else. Oh, I just creeped myself out. Oh, please no. Lord, God bless this place. May the power of Christ compel you. Oh my God. Anyway.
So that is basically my horror story for this apartment.
Oof. But that is so interesting. I love it. I wish. I know. I hope you're safe. I hope no one goes inside your apartment at night. Steal your athletic wear.
Someone stole our bike though. Did I tell you that?
That happened? Someone stole your bike? No.
Yeah, no. Someone stole Mike's bike. And I was so upset because it's in the front gated area. So it's gated.
It wasn't locked.
So
I mean, like the bike wasn't like locked or anything, or they
No.
took it with. Oh.
he didn't lock it because it was in the gated area.
Okay.
And the gate wasn't locked as well because nobody had their gates locked. So
Right.
So when we woke up at 8 a.m., we saw the gate was open and Mike was like, gasp.
Gasp.
And then
Le gasp.
and then
with
he
subtitles.
saw like gas, yeah. And then he saw his bike is gone. He freaking bought that with his bonus money in the Philippines. We flew it all the way from the Philippines to Australia.
Oh my gosh, for real.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty
We
good
paid
bike.
like the sports equip. It's a great bike.
So that's why people
So
like targeted out.
And bike theft is a thing here in Australia.
I
It's
see.
super because people use it as it's one of the popular modes of transportation. So like bikes get stolen so easily, even in apartments, even in locked up areas. So be careful if you have a bike in Australia.
I mean, bike theft is also popular. It's also a raging
Popular.
issue here in Japan. It's like the hottest thing. No, but
It's a hot topic.
it's a hot topic. But it's one of the reasons why foreigners are stopped while they're on
when
their
you
bike.
got stopped that one
yeah,
time.
I got
that
stopped
was
because-
racist.
Yeah. Remember, I had that story back in season
Yeah.
1 episode. I don't remember. Just check it out. Check all the episodes
I don't
out for
remember.
that.
Yes, watch all episodes.
But yeah, I got one of my I was
You were
flagged
racially profiled.
flagged down for thinking I stole that bike. But I didn't. I have a clean record. But yeah.
Kudos though to the police. I reported it on the same day.
They found it?
And they arrived. No.
Oh, okay. God bless that.
They
bike.
arrived the same day. They checked for prints in the gates. And apparently the guy was an expert, had a hoodie on, a mask on, and gloves. So they couldn't get any prints anywhere. Because he was prepared. He was on a mission. They saw him on the cameras, but obviously they couldn't detect his like face. And they couldn't see like his final destination.
Oof.
So the bike is gone.
At least here in Japan, all bikes must be registered, even if you bring it from abroad. So they have a way to trace it. So if you give like the description of the bike, the brand name, they're gonna scour for it. So I guess that's why I was profiled, because maybe my bike looked like one of the stolen bikes. So I don't know. So that's a way for you to retrieve it
Sad.
again. But then you don't have that kind of system in Australia.
I think they just got lazy.
Okay.
Because we had the serial number and everything. So like you could identify the bike.
Right, yeah.
It's red. It's like from the Philippines. It's a Philippine bike. So it shouldn't be that hard.
Right.
But oh well.
Oh well. Oh my gosh, okay.
That's it.
That's it. Sorry, you guys. There were so many technical difficulties with this episode. But I hope you enjoyed.
And I hope you guys learned about like the moving experience here. I hope you learned from our tips and tricks and what to look for.
We talked a lot.
And ask us any questions. Yeah. Just let us know what you want to know more about this
Living abroad,
topic or just anything about living abroad in Japan and in Australia, and we'll do our best to answer your questions or cover it in the podcast.
And if you have your own horror stories, maybe you can tell us more about it. We can talk about it in the podcast too. Yeah, I think, this could be
we would love that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a recurring thing because we're going to be moving a lot, I'd feel, or you would hear more of our friends' stories about moving, and it's going to be part of like our stories in the future as well. So stay tuned for more stories like this of like weird experiences while we're abroad.
Yeah, and you plan to move soon.
Yeah.
I plan to move soon.
Oh, you're moving
so
again.
That's going to be exciting.
Maybe we can like do a episode while we're moving. Or maybe we can vlog it.
No way.
Are we gonna vlog? Are we start vlogging?
We might.
We might.
We might.
Stay tuned for that.
That might be interesting,
Right,
actually.
that's true. Okay, so what a journey. You always end with that. What a journey.
There you have it.
There you have it. So Jerry, I have a question. What can the fam expect for the next episode?
For the next episode, it's gonna be super chill, super nice. It's gonna be Get Unready with Us. Ooh.
So we're just gonna go full on. Unready
So
with
while we
bathe. No, I'm just kidding.
While we prepare for bed, we will do our skincare so you guys can know what we do to make our skin looking fresh and beautiful.
But that's not the main thing.
And
what are we gonna talk about?
That is not the main thing. Just like a little, get to know us more podcast. Like we'll just talk about what our interests are at the moment, what's keeping us busy, what's inspiring us. Yeah. Those little things. And it's just gonna be a casual talk, chit chat. Just hang out.
Just hang out with us.
Have fun.
Have fun with us. Maybe we can also eat while we have our face masks on. We can eat the cucumbers on the ice.
Yeah.
Do the mukbang
and
that
you
way.
can do your skincare while we do it. Like, do the skincare with us and get unready with us as well while you listen.
Maybe I can put
and
like
relax.
a spa music while we do that instead of the
Ooh,
usual
cute.
distant relatives background music. Which, by
Our
the
fam
way,
might fall asleep.
I know, right? Our voices aren't that soothing, though, I would feel. But yeah.
Sad.
Oh, by the way, the music was made by our very own Jerry.
Pew, pew, pew.
Musical
Thank
talent in
you.
this house, in that house. Anyway,
Finally, I had a contribution.
what? Not finally. They're just getting to know of it right now. Okay, so thank you again for the fam who stayed all the way to the end of the episode. So for those
Thank
who
you.
want,
We appreciate you.
yeah, love you guys. If you have any questions for us, please contact us at the email on the description below.
Yes, you can also find us on Instagram. It's Instant Relatives. Distant Relatives, the podcast.
relatives. There you have it. Love that. Distagram.
And we are also on YouTube. It's Distant Relative the podcast. So please subscribe. Click that like button and get notified,
with the bell button. What's that? I don't know.
with the bell.
We're not used to this.
Click the bell button.
First time on
Yeah.
YouTube. Not really. First time promoting on YouTube.
That's not
That's
true.
not true. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
For me though. Wink. Okay, so yeah, we also have Twitter and Facebook, so please check us out on there. Thank you so much for those who have been visiting our Facebook page. I'm getting a few notifications here and there. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's time to end. Okay, so this has been Distant Relatives, and even if life abroad gets hard,
You don't have to go through it alone.
bye.